All right, guys, part 4, the finale, the final installment of how to become one of the richest people in the world. He gets into his price prediction in this video. So this is going to be, yeah, okay. So let's buckle in and let's see how many fiat dollars each Bitcoin will be in the future, according to him and his charts. And let's get right into it.
Here's another graphic showing you since April of 2022. Since April of 2022, there's where we start. These are all the exchanges. You see the exchanges? Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini. All right, Bitstamp. Since then, look at, there's only 2 with a plus. There's only 2 who's receiving more Bitcoin on exchange, on their exchange. Everyone else is, well, Binance too. Well, Binance is more flat, really. 4% is nothing. So negative 15%. So people that pull 15% of BitMEX's Bitcoin supply on exchange has been depleted. 26%, negative 14, negative 21, negative 24, negative 27, negative 30%, negative 49%, negative 52. They're losing the Bitcoin on exchange. It's going into self-custody as it should be. And just a little bit of a spark of a demand is going to send this thing into the stratosphere, traders. We're setting up an incoming supply crisis. It's simple ABC supply and demand metrics.
Very simple, very simple. More people are taking their Bitcoin off the exchanges, the FTXs, the Binances, anywhere that you can buy Bitcoin, and they're self-custodying it and keeping it themselves. You know, they're keeping it in a cold storage like this one. This is the Ledger Nano X. You have Trezor, you have all different kind of ones, but this is one of the top ones. This and Trezor and a couple other ones. And, you know, they're taking it and they're using their 12 to 24 word password. And, you know, they own the Bitcoin. They're taking it off the exchange because, again, not your keys, not your coins. You know what I mean? Just like silver in a depository. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. So that's a big sign, man, that more people are waking up, and they're not just taking it off the exchange to put it on the cold storages. It's not just because of that; it's because they don't trust them. They don't trust these people. They're not just doing it and selling it and stuff like that. They are taking it off and doing a self-custody. I absolutely love it, man.
Now, guys, let me just show you my results. I'm going to show you this, guys. Give me a second here. Listen to me carefully. I buy Bitcoin every single day. That's right, every single day of my life. I am not saying that's what you should do.
I agree with him. When I tell you guys that I buy every single day, I'm not telling you to do that. Again, this is not financial advice, but every single morning, because I know the power of what Bitcoin is. I know it's our money, it's the people's money. I get up and buy every single morning. And sometimes I buy multiple times a day. But I buy at least 100,000 Satoshis every single day because I know what they'll do for me and my family in the future. Again, I'm not telling you guys what to do. I completely agree with them. But you should definitely be buying, Satoshis as much as you can. Again, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. There's 100 million Satoshis in every one Bitcoin. They did that for a reason. Satoshi Nakamoto is a mathematical genius. He really is. So let's see what he says about how much Bitcoin you should buy.
I do encourage my Bitcoiners to buy every single week, even if it's $1. Remember what $1 went to. We have still not left that phenomenon, in my opinion. Dollars matter. $5, $10, whatever it is. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. Everyone on planet Earth can participate. I love that about you, Bitcoin. I love that about you. All inclusive.
I absolutely love it. If you have a smartphone or a Nokia phone, I think Nokia is like the #1 phone around the world globally, or whatever kind of phone you have, you can be your own bank. With Bitcoin, you don't need a bank account. That's why I sent anybody participate. If you have a phone and you can just put the application on your phone, you can buy Bitcoin, send it, receive it, whatever you want. It cannot be stopped. It is money. People are using it for to buy goods and services. It's legal tender. Other places it's growing and growing every day. I'll get into later on about the other altcoins, and they call them the shit coins later. Those are just speculative assets to me and plays. But Bitcoin is the real deal, man. It is the people's money. That's why I'm so excited about this, because, again, my channel is about freedom and decentralized assets, and nothing encompasses that better than silver and Bitcoin.
Now, I have been doing this since late 2020. I put a huge chunk in March of 2020, but I started buying every single day in late 2020. And yes, listen to me carefully, traders. I am including the 75% drop all the way down from 69 all the way down to 15,300 and change. Every single day, all the way down, but not in the same amounts. So as Bitcoin got lower, I bought heavier. As it got lower, I bought heavier and heavier and heavier. That's called pyramiding, so that even declining periods, you're okay. But I don't want to stop buying even though it's on declining periods. But there's a way to buy on the way down to still be okay. Now let me show you the result of me buying all the way down and still being okay. Let me show you this, guys. Let me show you.
Again, I'm not a trader. I'm not an expert, but I always look at the charts, always. And then when it comes to silver, when I see the prices going down, just like you guys, we pack up the truck and buy. You know what I mean? When silver crashed last year and it went down to, $17, $16 and all that, of course, the premiums went up, of course. But who didn't buy more? We all did. You know what I mean? When the job reports just came out today, or whenever you're watching this, when the silver went down, what did we go do? We go buy more. When FTX debacle happened, and the people that weren't didn't have the diamond hands in Bitcoin, didn't know what they were doing, and they started selling off, and it crashed from like 20 something thousand and went down to 15. Guys, I usually buy 100,000 satoshis. That day it crashed, I spent $3,000 that day when it crashed down to 15. I did, because they're giving it away at that point. Again, silver in the 20s and Bitcoin in the 20,000s. Again, I got it. When I'm going into the silver shop, I literally have to look out the door and make sure no cops out there, because I feel like I'm stealing this stuff. I'm giving them cash. I'm giving them paper for this. I'm giving them paper for real digital hard money. It's crazy.
These are results as of today. I took this snapshot just before going online with you. Okay, this is one of 8 wallets. So I have 8 wallets in total. This is one of them. All right, and it's the smallest one. But in all honesty, guys, it's not safe, nor is it smart for me to show everything. So I basically default to the smallest wallet for public purposes.
Whoa, okay, your smallest wallet. As of now, I only have my Bitcoin on one wallet. What he's talking about, one of his 8 wallets, meaning he has 7 more cold storage wallets. You know what I mean? And again, this is my bank. So I do plan on getting another, maybe 1 or 2 more of either. Probably my next one's going to get a Trezor, and I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to get a hot wallet later on, but I'm going to change, I'm going to get into that in another video. But basically, what he's showing you is he's showing you 4 stages of his hot wallet. His cold storage and what he has. Now, again, guys, this guy's a multimillionaire. He's in his 50s or 60s or whatever. This guy is working on multiple higher levels than me. I don't know what your level is, but, he and plus he bought in Bitcoin when it was $3,000 in 2020. So imagine that, buying a whole bunch at his level. So that's why he has so much. So again, you're not going to need that much in the future. All you got to do is spend $1 or $2 or $3 every day or something like that. And trust me, you'll be one of the richest people in the world. And I'll get into that later.
So listen, this is today's price results. All right. Boom. In US dollar terms, $5,600 just today. Here's 1 week. See the week down there? That's the day. Here's the week. 44,000 this week. Okay. The last week. Last month, 130,000. But here's what I want to bring your attention to. Over the past year, Bitcoin has been going straight down. Over the past year, it's just straight down. It experienced a 74.5% decline. Straight down. And I'm still up. Because of the way I buy. There's a method. I learned how to buy like this as an institutional trader. This is how the institutions buy to still be okay on the way down. And they wind up making huge gains. When that down turns back to up, these numbers explode. So despite the fact that over the past year, we've gone from 69K to 15K. I'm still up. This is called pyramiding or laddering. It's very, very powerful.
Again, guys, Oliver Velez is one of the greatest traders in the world. He's world renowned, and I highly suggest you go to his channel. Even if you don't want to know about Bitcoin, he doesn't talk about Bitcoin a lot. He's an excellent, excellent trader. If you want to learn how to trade, I highly suggest you go over there. But if you want to learn how to, buy Bitcoin and do all the extra stuff that he does, he'll teach you all that stuff too. But you can stay on this channel too for a low level thing, and I'll teach you everything that I know about Bitcoin too. But yeah, I highly suggest you go to his channel if you want to learn how to trade.
But I'm going to tell you right now, watch where this number goes. That's the yearly number. These are just kind of coming back, right? But watch where this number goes. I going to tell you, I told you so. You watch where this number goes. I'll be back to show you. I will be back. Traders, this is your last chance. You don't have a lot of time. I haven't always been right about Bitcoin, but I've always been right about Bitcoin. I don't know if you can understand that, guys, right? I haven't always been right about Bitcoin, but I've always been right about Bitcoin. What have I not been right about? Last cycle, based on all of my analysis, I definitely thought we'd get above $100,000 a Bitcoin. We didn't quite get there, but there are reasons why the top was cut off this time. All right? We never got that blow off top that was historical for Bitcoin. But there are major reasons why that happens. Okay? I'm not going to go into those reasons. But I was right in bringing 6,000 traders with me into Bitcoin at 3,800.
3,800. 3,800 compared to the high of 69,000 and right now at 24,000, whatever. Seems like a big gap, and it is. But the gap that is going to be in the future, right now, it's at 23, 24. When you hear his price prediction and what it's going to be in 7 years and things like that, what Kathy Wood says and all that, those gains are going to be nothing compared to if you invest in Bitcoin right now for your future. I'm telling you that, man.
I was right on my first target of 40,000. Then I upped it. I upped it to 65,000. And then I upped it to 80 something thousand and then 100, and those didn't get hit. But I was right on the way up for a very long time. I then taught my Bitcoiners how to use this down period to prepare for the next up period, because unlike the scaredy cats on the sidelines waiting for some miraculous bottom. I don't play like that. I accumulate the down period to grow my stack.
To grow my stack. My God, does that sound familiar? It's the same thing. Stacking ounces, stacking sats. I'm telling you, man. You know, we got to stack cash too. Stacking.
But professionally, and to still be up. And that stack has gone bigger than I ever thought I'd be able to make it have. And I'm going to tell you, you watch. I will be back. Watch what I'm going to show you. OMG. The time is now, though. The vast majority of the downward pressure is over. I showed you indicator after indicator after indicator after indicator that's reflected that. We don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. So right here, I am going to tell you that I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to give you, I will never delete this video. I'm going to give you my personal price target for Bitcoin this time around. All right. Okay. I hit it last time because my first target was 40,000, but I kept upping it. That was my mistake. All right. But from 3,000 and change to 40, and people said, Oliver, you're crazy. You're crazy. That's never going to happen. And then we shot past 40. Then I raised it to 65, and then I raised it to 85, and then 110. Anyway, 108 actually, to be exact. Anyway, the top got cut off. So I'm doing it again. Now, this is not something that you should act on. I'm just giving you what my work has suggested. Once again, the target. Okay? So,
what you guys think? What's the number based on what you saw in those charts? Let's guess. Pause the video. Put it in the comment section. Let's see.
Let me go over that. Now, this is what it is. 150,000 BTC incoming. My thesis is this. I'm going to give you, this is not me pulling a number out of thin air. This is not me just randomly coming up with 150. I am going to go over the theses very quickly, and I'm almost done with you. Go over the thesis why I believe 150,000 BTC is incoming. Every 4 years, Bitcoin experiences what's called the halving. And so its issuance supply gets cut in half.
This is a big deal right here. Many of you that are new to Bitcoin may not know what the halving is. Here's the definition.
So what exactly is Bitcoin halving? Bitcoin halving is a process that regulates the amount of Bitcoin rewards issued to miners for helping secure the network. Specifically, it does this by cutting the reward in half roughly every 4 years. But first, let's back up a bit. So, as mentioned, the total supply of Bitcoin is capped at 21 million coins. After 21 million coins are mined, no more Bitcoin will be created. Since Bitcoin is not run by any one single entity, it requires miners around the world to participate in validating transactions and securing the network. In return, miners are awarded with Bitcoin for every block, which are what transactions are grouped into, they add to the blockchain. At the time Bitcoin was launched, the reward per block was 50 BTC. The code is set so that miners' rewards are cut in half for every 210,000 blocks added to the blockchain. As each block takes approximately 10 minutes to mine, this means it takes roughly 4 years to add that many blocks to the blockchain, with the first Bitcoin halving taking place in 2012, halving the reward to 25 BTC, the second in 2016, halving the rewards to 12.5 BTC, and the latest halving event taking place in May 2020, halving the rewards to 6.25 BTC. The next one is expected to take place in 2024. What does the halving mean for Bitcoin? Based on the basic principles of supply and demand, the Bitcoin halving tends to result in increased Bitcoin prices if demand increases or remains constant. This is because the halving reduces the amount of new Bitcoin entering the market. Bitcoin's limited supply of 21 million makes it a scarce and thus valuable asset if the demand for it continues to increase. Estimates predict that the last halving will happen in 2140, after which miners will get 0 block rewards for mining, but will still be able to collect transaction fees for keeping the blockchain running. And ideally, the transaction fees will be enough incentive for miners to keep securing the network.
So yeah, so once you see that, you know that the miners, when they're mining this Bitcoin, because remember, it's you get 900 a day right now. When the halving comes in 2024, it'll be 450. So right now, each miner can earn up to 6.25 Bitcoin a day. But in 2024, March, April, May, whatever it is, they can only get 3.125 Bitcoin. So what's that mean? That means the demand is still going to be there and it's going to go up because the supply is going to go down. And you can't make any more Bitcoin. That's why I say Bitcoin is the hardest money in the world, including with gold and silver.
What you talking about, Willis?
No offense. But it's absolutely ridiculous, man.
All right. So in addition to people pulling their Bitcoin off exchange, the new supply that's issued into the world gets cut in half. Now, this was the last halving, right? Now, if you look here, every single time this was each cycle. If you look at each cycle before, the bottom happens before the halving. See? Before the halving is the bottom. Now, the halving is over here. All right? The bottom is before the halving. Before the halving. You see? So, how much before? Usually around right there. See that line there? Usually around right there. Boom. Where are we? We're close. We're here. It's one box over plus a little bit more. One box over plus a little bit more. We are close, guys. But our time is limited. Our time is limited.
When he's saying time is limited, he doesn't mean you can't buy Bitcoin right now. I keep saying that, but I want to keep reiterating that just in case somebody didn't watch the other parts of the video. He means to take full advantage of the bottom that we're at now to the full 150 proposed, price that he has. So instead of buying at 38,000 to 150, he's telling you to buy in the mid 20s to go up to 150, or instead of buying at 58,000 and going up to 150, he's saying buying now at the bottom to go to 150.
Now, I want you to take a look at what Bitcoin has historically done from the halving. 92x from the halving. More from the bottom. This is just from the halving, but from the bottom, this number is way bigger than 92. Do you understand? 92. Then 30x from the halving, 8x from the halving. Okay? But not from the bottom. The bottom is where I like to do it. I don't like to do the gain from the halving point. I like to do it from the bottom.
I think she likes to do it from the bottom too. But anyways, so what he's saying is right now we're at the proposed bottom and we're going to work our way up. So you saw that, right? The bottom was way over there, not from the halving point. From the halving point the last time in 2020 was March, I think. I forgot when the halving was, March or something, 2020. The halving all the way up until it got to 69,000. That's crazy. You know what I mean? The 92x it went up. So we're at the bottom right now. So imagine what the next one's going to be.
Because by the time we get to the halving, you could be over here. And then I don't want to calculate from over there. I want to calculate from the bottom. I want to calculate from the bottom. Do you understand? I believe as a conservative projection, we should 10x from the bottom. Why do I say conservative? Well, take a look. Traders, this was the last bottom. And guys, the halving was here. You see how the halving is higher than the bottom? It's always, the bottom was here and the halving was here. It's always higher than the bottom. Do you understand? The bottom was here. The halving was here. It's always higher than the bottom. So, but I like to calculate from the bottom, from the bottom, from the bottom. Now, the last time from the bottom to 69, guess what that was? That was a 17x. If we were to, and let's assume this is the bottom now at 15, let's use 15,500. It went a little bit lower, but let's round it. 15,500. If we just duplicate, it went up 17 times from the bottom. Now, this went up more from the bottom, and this went up even more. So they get smaller. So that's why, but if we even just duplicate 17 from 15.5, what do we get? Let me quickly do it for you.
Okay, so I might have misspoke earlier. If I said the bottom was at 23, I forgot. The bottom was 15,400 or something. So he's using 15.5. And again, that's when I backed up the truck. Remember I told you I spent like $3,000? And then I still bought 100,000 satoshis, 200,000 after that. But I backed up the truck at the bottom. You know what I mean? And right now we're basically 8,000 higher than that right now. We're at 23,500 from that bottom.
17. Wait. We're going to do 15,500 times 17. That gives us 263,500 actually. But I'm not using that number. Since each one of these gets less and less, I'm dropping this to 10. If we 10x from 15,000, I'm rounding. If we from 15,500, if we 10x, that's 155,000. I'm just taking off the 5 and rounding back. 150. 150,000. That's my thesis based on history.
I mean, that makes sense to me. That's a conservative prediction to me. It really is. I've watched videos that go much higher than that, and I'll show you them later. But my God, again, I don't plan on selling mine, so I'm not really concerned what it's going to be over the next couple of years. Only thing is, I hope he's wrong so I can buy more satoshis. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just like when people say silver is going to $50 and $60, I don't want to do that because I'm still a baby in this. We're all still babies, you know, for the most part. Most of us, if you haven't been stacking for 20 years or 15 years or whatever, we're all babies. A lot of us started when the scamdemic started. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in the accumulation phase. I don't give a damn about how high the prices go. You know, a lot of people want to, you know, if they bought it at 15 or bought it at 23,000, you know, Bitcoin, and then they turn around and sell it if it gets to 150, hey, more power to you. But me, I'm not selling one single Satoshi, and I'm not selling 1 ounce of silver. Now, I'll give Satoshis away to educate people and show them how to use Bitcoin, and I'll give ounces away to show people how to use it. But just to sell it and make a profit, I'm in it long, guys. I'm in it long.
Now, traders, listen to me carefully. History is the only thing we have. We can only use history. It's a possibility that history doesn't play out the same way, but it's the only thing we have to judge. And based on history, we should at least conservatively get a 10x, maybe more. Maybe more, but at least a 10x, in my opinion. But the time is now. You don't have a lot of time. I showed you indicator after indicator, item after item, reason after reason, and my thesis for where this is going to go. This is going to get to a price, in my opinion, where your dollars won't matter very much anymore. It'll be like throwing a penny in a big giant ocean. The time is now. Now. Okay?
He's 100% right. The longer you go and the longer you wait, the less power that your US dollars have to buy satoshis. You know, right now, $1 will buy you about a little bit over 4,000 satoshis. A dollar back in 2010, it'd be worth 30 million today. A dollar in 2020, when it was 3,000 Bitcoin, you know, I mean, come on, you know what I mean? So, again, I'm not trying to pressure you to buy this, that, and the third. All I'm telling you is get your insurance and make sure you're putting some dollars in these satoshis. You know, we're already doing it with the silver. Let's do it with the Bitcoin too, man.
Okay, so looking for a 10x from 15.5, right? This is why I'm using 15.5. This was huge 17x. Looking for just a 10x from here. Powerful. Powerful. And don't forget, the lows keep getting higher. This is our chance, guys. Okay, I want to thank every single one of you for attending. I know that you could be walking your dog around the park right now, but you're here. I know that you could be in the mall, walking around, shopping, spending fiat currency, but you're here with me. You could be, I don't know, watching television or doing whatever it is that you do, but you're here with me. And that's something that I don't take for granted, guys. I really don't. As I told you before I started our talk, I try, whenever I sit down, I try to consciously deliver something of value, something that I think has the potential of being life-changing for you. And I hope that I've done that here today. And if I haven't, I promise you, I'll get better. All right? And only a small window of time for Bitcoin. Don't forget. Love you to death. Boom. Boom. Boom.
We love you too, Oliver. Thank you so much, man. That was a hell of a presentation. I hoped you guys learned as much as I did. I learned so much. Those charts were unbelievable. I liked when he showed that last one with the lows, going higher and stuff like that. I'm a historian, guys, and I've gone back in the history of Bitcoin from the day it started till now. And I just think about what I was doing during those times. And I was just like, man, how did I not see that? And I get a little bit depressed and a little bit down when I see somebody putting in a $20 bill into a Bitcoin ATM and almost getting a whole Bitcoin for that. My gosh. But anyways, let's wrap this up in a bow, guys. The reason I say, or say in the video how you can become one of the richest people in the world is simple. We know for a fact, I mean, there's no question, guys, that this stuff is a devaluating asset. Okay, it's an asset. It's quote unquote money, but the fiat currency is getting printed into oblivion. Fellas, this right here, money was supposed to be hard to get. It's supposed to be finite. It's supposed to be difficult. You know how difficult it is to mine this beautiful metal out of the ground. It is so difficult. There's so many steps it takes to mine this beautiful stuff. The same thing with Bitcoin. The more people that are into Bitcoin, the harder it is to mine for the miners. And now with the halving coming, and you learned about that, where now they're even getting less Bitcoin, because these miners hold their Bitcoin, by the way. The supply is getting more and more scarce every single day we get closer to that halving. The reason why you will become one of the richest people in the world, if you buy silver, a finite item that everyone and their mama uses every single day, and the industry is just growing and growing and growing. You keep buying silver and you stack ounces of silver. It doesn't matter what the US dollar says, how much they cost. It does not matter. And we know that. This is just paper backed by confidence. The government has nothing to do with my way I look at money. I don't care if they say Bitcoin doesn't mean anything and silver is not a monetary metal. I don't care about that. Okay? The government shouldn't be in the money business anyways. Okay? If you guys keep buying this and you keep buying the digital money, that one day, I promise you guys, I'm going to make a promise to you. If it does what it's keep doing, meaning going up and to the right, that's what the chart is doing. And the lows keep getting higher. And people are transacting in this more and more every single day. People use Bitcoin not just as a savings account, not just as a speculative asset to trade, not just for, just to have their, a hand in crypto. People need Bitcoin. They need it because they don't have banks. Zimbabwe's money is being, printed to infinity. There's all kind of countries. Remember, guys, the US dollar is getting weaker every single day. We're fortunate because we have banks and we have the world reserve currency. But still, we're losing value. Even though we're the toughest currency in the world, compared to other countries when we go overseas, because you do got to travel overseas every once in a while. When you do that, this dollar's tough. But here, when you put this up against bread and eggs and milk, especially eggs now, it's getting his ass kicked. Okay? This right here, they're not making any more of this. They're only going to make in our lifetime maybe 20 million Satoshis. Because again, 21 million, the last one will be mined in the year 2140. We'll all be dead. But when that halving comes, there's going to be less and less Satoshis out there. I believe, just like it is now, things are going to be priced in Satoshis. This is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be the world currency. I'm not going to make that promise, but I will promise you this. You will be able to transact and buy in Bitcoin. People can do it now. You can buy Teslas. You can buy metals. You can buy different things from different stores. They take Satoshis now. In the early days of Bitcoin, people were buying coins at a time, whole Bitcoins at a time. Now you have to buy, Satoshis, but the prices just keeps going up and up and up, meaning $1 today is 4,000 Satoshis right now today. But one day, $1 will be one Satoshi. And I don't like to measure my ounces in dollars or my Satoshis in dollars. I like to measure my wealth in ounces and Satoshis. And I hope to God you guys get on board and get you some of this. Forget about those shit coins. Forget about those altcoins. I'm not telling you not to buy them. You use those as speculative assets in your portfolio. If you're going to buy quote unquote cryptocurrencies, and I'm going to make a video specifically about cryptocurrencies. If you consider Bitcoin a crypto, I don't. It's its own entity. Again, 80% Bitcoin, 20% of the alternative coins. I don't care what kind of project they say it is or whatever. This is the real deal. People are using this right now. Look at the price between Bitcoin and the second best one. And the reason why these other ones, it's going to go to these, 5, 10 cents, and now it's going to go to 100. Guys, those guys are not, those other altcoins are not finite like Bitcoin. There's trillions of them, hundreds of billions of them. There's only 21 million of these. And Satoshi Nakamoto, the genius man, woman, or team or people that made this, is a mathematician. That's why he broke it up into 100 million Satoshis. And there's 8 billion people, guys. If you buy today and you keep buying and buying, you are still in the, not even the 1%. You're in the lower 1%. I know this for a fact. I wanted to be rich my whole life. I was thinking about money and all this other stuff, but now I'm on a mission, man. I'm on a mission to wake everybody up, and this is our freedom. This is our freedom, and they're taking it from us. They're stealing our time by inflating this stuff. They can't inflate this. They can't inflate this. This is God's money. This is the people's money. And I promise you guys, you keep buying Bitcoin just a little bit, because that's all you need. I'm not telling you to sell your house or sell your car or sell your silver. All I'm telling you guys is to buy you Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you how to do it every fucking step of the way. I promise you guys. All right. Get your Bitcoin. Get your Bitcoin insurance. Keep on stacking your silver. I'm not telling you, never tell you to not stack silver. You always fucking stack silver. But while you're doing that, you better stack your people's money, your satoshis. Because again, this is God's money. But this is for us. This is for the people. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I love each and every one of you. I'm passionate about this, man. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace and love.